Here is the camera cover. Let's take that off. Wow. So that is a Mac Daddy big old sensor. Look at this thing, man. Whew. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. Exciting times here on the channel. We are reviewing the DJI Avata 2 today. This is brand new on the market. By the time you see this video, it will be out and ready for purchase. Anyway, this is going to be a full series. This is the first in the series with an unboxing, inspection, updating, setup, kind of getting started video. Also comparing it to the Avata 1. I still have my Avata 1, so we're going to compare that. And also you're seeing two boxes here, guys, because I am giving away an entire Fly More combo of the Avata 2. So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, hit that bell, keep tuned to this series because this is going to be fun. Let's get started with the Avata 2. Okay guys, so like I said, this one is to give away to you guys. DJI also sent me the ND filter set. This is an 8, 16, and a 32. So we're going to be checking that out as well. So this is going to be my first time unboxing it. So you will see my full experience. I don't pre-unbox or pre-try things before I shoot video. So, just so you guys know, this is, just really as authentic as you can get from somebody who has lots of experience with DJI products. And if you're familiar with my series, guys, you're going to know that I'm going to put this thing through a multiple video test. There's some new technology in this. As you can see, this is the Goggles 3, the Motion Controller 3, and the Avata 2. Lots of big upgrades. 3 flight batteries. That's what's so great about the combos is you get a bunch of stuff included and you save some money. The bag is always nice just to hold everything together in this small little bag. We're going to see how that looks. The charging hub, which will charge those 3 batteries. We got spare propellers and all the other goodies in this package. All right, guys, let's get this thing out of the box. So DJI has these little peel tabs that usually work pretty good. There we go. On the top of the cover of the box, you want to scan that QR code, install the Fly app, watch video tutorials, and read the manual before you get started. But you're going to figure out how it is through me, right? Let's see what we got here. Take this little strap thing off. Nice padded strap with that breathable material. I like the little orange accents since the front of the drone looked like it had some orange accents. Check that out, the orange stitching there. This feels like a very durable strap. We have a handle on the back here. Awesome. So they're bringing back kind of the side elasticity of these things so you can just shove little doodads in the sides. That's one of the things on the Mini and I think it was the Air 3 bag that they did away with, were these little pockets on the sides that you can shove stuff in. Let's unzip this thing for the first time. They're still maintaining this kind of weatherproof zipper. Loving that. It looks very sealed. That's going to really keep this thing protected from rain and dust. Here we go, guys. First opening of the Avata 2 ever. Accessories in the top cover here. Let's just unzip this little mesh bag as usual. This is definitely a larger case than the Mini and the Air 3 case. It's a little bit wider this way. The top seems about the same height, but it is wider, so it can, comfortably fit all your doodads in here. Let's just check out what's in the top before we break down into the drone on the bottom level. So we have a USB C-to-C cable. We have our extra props. Wow, so 1 bag for 1 prop and screws. Interesting. So that's 2 props, 3 props, and 4 props. So 4 props in the top. We have our manual quick start guide right here. Tiny little Allen wrench for those propeller screws. Last thing is a little baggie here. Looks like there's a lot of stuff in here, so I'm just going to take this all out. Nice. They're including corrective lenses in here. I don't remember them providing corrective lenses as an option in the first Avata, so that's great. Extra head strap pad for the goggles. And we have this little OTG cable, which is basically going to be probably our first use connecting everything up. USB-A to USB-C on this side. So that's literally everything in the top, guys. We'll zip that back up for now and check out the bottom. We really want to delve into this in detail like I always do. If you're familiar with my videos, guys, they're long, but they're detailed. And check this out. Oh my gosh, what a difference in size. Motion 3 controller. What the heck? It's so much smaller. Oh my gosh. I got to compare this to the first one real quick. Let's just do our comparisons as we grab things out of the box. Is this the 2? This might be the 1. Not sure if I ever got the 2, but look at that size difference. It's like a total about an inch shorter, and it's just so much lighter and smaller. Amazing. Buttons are a little bit different. Look, we have a complete readjustment of the joysticks here. Little mesh button there. We've got a nice grippy thumbstick here. MH there. And then we have this little roller that just continuously notchy rolls. And there's our trigger and our reverse now. Remember, this one didn't have reverse. It was just forward pull. Lots of differences here, man. Just look how much smaller that thing is. Doesn't have this gigantic front on the top here. That's just all one little mini controller with basically the triggers, the biggest thing on the front. Little button there for recording. We still have our lights on top for battery power. Bottom, USB port. This one is not covered. The old one did have this little cover on it. Anyway, guys, that's the differences. Just a complete remodel of the Motion controller, and Motion 3 is looking great. More compact, easier to carry around, so much lighter. It feels about half the weight, I gotta say, guys. It's about half. Moving on, let's put that bad boy on the side, and we want to check out the other stuff in here. Let's see what's in this big bag. And there is the Goggles 3. Awesome. All right, look at this. We have our battery pack. We're finally getting some balance. Built-in battery pack on the back. Tighten, loosen, and look at those straps. As I turn this guy here, clicking like a ratchet system, tight and loose wording right here. That's maximum right there. So it can do a pretty small head here. If you have a very small head or a kid or something that's using this, it looks like it's pretty adaptable. Very good job here. It's just this really silicone-y rubber, very soft. It doesn't look like it's going to wear out very easily, very smooth, and it rotates up and down for your head. So I'm feeling a ratchet system here. This is super interesting. Just look at the silicone on these goggles. This is going to prevent any kind of light leaks here. Remember, there was light leaks like in the nose, and now it's just like they're taking care of all that with these little things that just hug your face, and it's just gonna like form to your face, super contoured. We have our IPD adjustments like we did on the other ones, so you can unscrew this, slide it, and then lock it down by just screwing it in. And then if you screw and unscrew these, it's focusing in and out. There's a little ring on top that's rotating around in a focusing type of way. And then you can see you have the focusing factors here. So this combined with those extra lenses they give us, that's gonna be pretty much universal, I think, for most people. So that's awesome. Checking out inside the goggles here, guys, we have our memory card slot right there above the sensor that senses if it's on your head or not. The actual screens and the lenses will turn off and on depending on if it's your head or not with that sensor. Nice little tiny antennas. Man, they're really paying attention to detail with this one. We even have little rubber stops here. So when you do put the antennas down, they're just gently touching. We have a little separation there. So just the amount of detail we're seeing here is unbelievable in the generations that are progressing. Little joystick here for changing menu options. We can push that in and click it, rotate it all the way around. A back button there for the menu. Power button, let's hit that real quick. Yeah, so we're like 60% charged. USB Type-C input. Check this out. We've got cameras on the front now. So this is supposed to have a PIP mode where instead of taking the goggles off, you hit a button and you can see what's going on around you in a picture-in-picture. Now, this is never before seen on DJI goggles. Cooling vents in the front here. The whole look of the goggles just are really looking great. Every generation they just look better and better. I think it's looking pretty awesome and making them so compact. Remember the first ones, that big white headset? Look how far they've come. You know what I mean? Now we're fully balanced, we're fully adjustable in the lightest and slimmest way possible with the best technology. So just amazing, man. I know I keep saying that, but you got to really feel it. And remember, you guys are getting your own set back there because I am giving away this whole combo. So don't miss that, man. Just incredible. Not really a whole lot else to look at the goggles, but my question is, how are these being powered? And it feels like there's a wire in here, all pre-installed in the strap. So you're not dealing with any wires whatsoever. Barely even noticeable. Definitely don't want to yank on this and pull it hard, but there is a little bit of elasticity here. You see that? Only thing I'm not seeing that I liked on the original goggles was, remember they had that little clip-in guard for the lenses. It was plastic. It just snapped right in. Not seeing that here, so that could be a little bit of a negative. On the left, originals. The antennas have stayed pretty much the same. These antennas on the left didn't have all those little doodads like the little soft rubbers here to click down. Quite a bit different. The venting is way different. The knobs are a little bit different. Of course, we have the cameras on the front. Don't have that headband rest on the top of the old goggles. Memory card has moved from the old ones, which were on the bottom here, to the new ones, which are actually inside. And that's the little clip I was talking about that I really liked. So the older goggles had this snap clip. I'm gonna pull these little lens protectors off, and I want to see if by chance we can use this old guy right here. Let's see if that works. Nope. Vents here, hopefully to prevent it from fogging. Old goggles here also had the same kind of vents, so we're seeing similarities and also a lot of differences. But remember, the old goggles, you had to have that plugged into your battery, and your battery sitting on your pocket or somewhere else. And that was one of my complaints on the older goggles was, you know, make it a full integrated system so you don't have to carry this battery around and all that stuff. And look at that. No ports on the battery whatsoever. It's just all charged through the goggles because you have that cable running through the strap. Okay guys, exciting stuff. Let's get to the next thing in the bag. I'm gonna save the best for last. Just like all firmware combos, you're gonna get like a, you know, multi-charger deal with those 3 batteries. Here we have the old on the left with the batteries that were a little bit interesting to deal with. You just had to like slide them in on this kind of tray type of battery deal. You were able to plug 4 in, but you see how that worked is they were just kind of all floating around there on the first Avata. Not very sturdy, a little bit wobbly. The new one, they're going with a slotted type of charger. So everything is held in perfectly, and look how different the batteries are. My goodness. So those clip in, can't pull them out, push the 2 tabs and they pop right out. Very light chargers, so there's not much going on here, and it's only 3. The old one you could do 4 at a time or in consecutive order. Multi-charger has just a power button and a USB-C, and that is it. Completely redesigned slotted battery system. So let's see if we can see this tiny little writing and see what the differences are on these 2 batteries. Old battery, guys, was like a 4S. Man, it's hard to read that. 2420 mAh, a little bit heavier. New one, lighter. Same voltage, 2150. So a little bit of smaller battery and the same voltage. I'm gonna have to put these on the charger ASAP, get these charged up. Last but not least, sorry to keep you waiting, but the main event, nothing else in there. That is a big bag with a lot of room. Not giant, but it's going to hold all your stuff and extra too. You wanna get extra batteries or whatever, it looks like you're gonna have a lot of room in that Avata bag. Avata 2 bag, I should say. Here we go. Bingo. Wow. It looks way more smooth, futuristic, and different. Man, this thing is looking fantastic. First thing I want to do is compare it to the Avata 1. Avata 1 on the left, Avata 2 on the right, and look at the difference. I'm feeling almost like the Avata 2 with its battery installed. There's 1 battery in there. It is almost the same weight as the Avata 1 without a battery. A little bit heavier, but almost the same. Amazing. And look at that design difference. So the 2 is longer this way and thinner this way compared to the Avata 1. You see that? The actual total footprint of this is a little bit bigger. It almost looks like an inch all the way around bigger. On the old Avata, the propellers are way different. These ones have more of a curved, efficient look to them. I did get some grass and hit some trees with this one, and it's still performing fine. So that's just a quick little comparison. I mean, there is just a whole slew of differences here. Let's check out the differences in the front. Of course, we're gonna have a better camera. Looks like the camera is now more protected. Let's take off the gimbals of each. Looks like we're gonna push in on the bottom and it kind of snaps. See how that kind of moves up and down. Here is the camera cover. Let's take that off. Wow. So that is a Mac Daddy big old sensor. Look at this thing, man. Whew. Look at that. So the old Avata, the GPS and everything was right here. The new one, it just kind of has this whole deal right here, and it's not really opened at all. Let's just take this warning. Charge your batteries first. See how we're gonna pull these tabs, push them actually, and then pull the battery out. So a slotted battery design, just like their other drones, much easier to deal with. You don't have any cables you're fumbling around with. So the old one, you just kind of had to push the battery in till it kind of clipped, and then you had to push the actual connector in, and then you were kind of ready to go, right? Anyway, let's continue on inspecting the main event here. I know this is gonna be a long video, guys, but that's what you get with my videos. Do not touch the air intake to avoid burns. Interesting. Looks like that's gonna get really hot, so you don't wanna touch that. I'm gonna take this sticker off because I want all the efficiency I can get. Take that bad boy off there. Let's look at the bottom. So we have our kind of laser sensor for the ground sensing, and check this out, guys. We have rear sensor cameras now on the Avata 2. Comparing the Avata 1, no rear sensors. I'm just gonna take this battery out real quick. That battery was always a little bit hard to get in and out. We only had bottom sensors on the Avata 1. Now we have kind of down and rear sensors on the Avata 2. Whole rest of the bottom of the craft, check it out, completely blank. And that's good because when you crash, you don't really want to have a lot of sensors because you're usually going to crash either forward or on the bottom. Looks like all cooling fins here kind of integrated into the bottom versus the first one. Look at this. So remember, we had this whole cluster right on the bottom where you're going to land the thing. Over on the left side, we do have a little port here. That's where you're going to put your onboard SD card for onboard high quality video. And then there is a Type-C USB right there in that door. Coming over to the other side, it actually tells us how loud this drone is. So LWA 81 dB. So lots of new goodies here, man. Whew. I'd imagine they've probably improve the strength a little bit. So we'll see if we break this. I want to look at the camera just a little bit more and also compare the camera. So these are our full extents here, just going up and down. You can see the little camera ridges on the top and the bottom to protect that camera. Then these little orange things right here, these are actually little separate rubber deals. So if you do hit something like, you know, that's going to absorb some of the impact, it's not going to crack as easily. So it's still using, obviously, the image stabilization, the EIS, electronic image stabilization, but it also has that same kind of padding and dampening inside the gimbal. And it's just a one axis, right? You can go up and down. With that EIS, it's going to stabilize that video as much as it can, just like action cams. Great to see just re-engineering and solving problems, and that's the thing that DJI seems to be good at. It might take a generation or two, but it looks like they are kind of assessing all the complaints and fixes that people recommended for this drone, of course, as they do for others. And sometimes it takes a while, but it looks like they are improving these things. Last thing I want to do before we pop this thing on the charger, guys, is remember I got this ND filter set. I just want to see how easy it is to slam one of these on. You're going to want to use these in different situations, whether it's sunnier or darker, and to get certain film effects. If you don't know how to use these, which I usually don't use these, is I would just stay away from them. But if you do know how to use ND filters, here they are. As always, nice and beautiful and quality. Let's put on the ND8. So nice rubber case, don't want to touch the lens. Just look at this thing, it's so tiny, thin and light. It's not even, feels like not even a gram. Amazing. So it looks like we're just going to be clipping right inside. You see these two little things? Let's see if it just clips right on. So I'm holding the camera. Yeah, pushing and snapping right there. That's how easy it was to get on that ND filter. And that thing is not coming off unless, of course, you crash. I'm just tugging on it without pushing in. So these are going to give just a tad. Wow, that's actually hard to take off. Let me try that again. There we go. Again, I just touched it and see. DJI, if you are listening, please somewhere include a cleaning cloth, because you have ND filters, the drone camera, sensors of the drone you want to keep clean, and lenses of the goggles. Maybe a good recommendation, have a little strip of cleaning cloth that fits perfectly in this top portion or something, or just lay it over, because that will close with a little strip of cleaning cloth. I want to open up this manual and just make sure they haven't started including it, because that would be kind of funny, huh? If I was complaining about that. This is just all paperwork. So they're giving us stickers, but no cleaning cloth. So I'd rather have a cleaning cloth than all these stickers. Anyway, moving on. As usual, no wall charger in the system. This is gonna be how you're gonna charge all your batteries. So unless you have a high output wattage wall charger, this is probably going to take quite a bit of time, and this is all they're giving us in the box. Definitely, if you haven't bought one already and you're getting this, I would recommend a high output wall charger. I'll charge it up, tell you how long it took on what wattage charger I'm using. Let's get started with the hookup process and see what this takes to get running. I have the DJI 100 watt dual output charger right here. This is what I got when I got the Air 3. I also have my cell phone charger. This is a Super VOOC charger that can do also around 100 watts. Just keep in mind that unless you have one of DJI's chargers or something that's more compatible with the DJI batteries, you won't get this fast charge. You can see the lights blinking super fast. Plug in my cell phone charger and you're going to see a slower blink. See that? So even with a high powered phone charger, you may not get that high speed charging. So I'd recommend, if you're okay with spending a little extra money, get their 100 watt dual output, because then you can also charge another set of peripherals. And this is where we're going to get into the motion controller 3 and the goggles 3. The goggles 3 seem to be able to fast charge with either DJI's high output charger or my Super VOOC cell phone charger. The controller will just charge at one speed, no matter if you have a high output or low output. Okay guys, wow, so very interesting on the charge time. This is a 1S or 3.7 volt battery in here. I assume it's just basically a cylindrical lithium ion cell, 2600 mAh, and this took exactly the same amount of time as it took to charge one of the batteries in that multi-charger, which was 35 minutes. So one battery and the motion controller, 35 minutes. This guy, on the other hand, oh my goodness. So this is a 2S 3000 milliamp hour battery. Remember, this was a 2150, I believe, at 4S. Boy, oh boy, this took as long as it took to charge 3 of the batteries. About 105 minutes to charge the goggles, just the goggles. I don't know why it took so long. It looked like maybe they were balancing all the way up to the 4th light for maybe half of that time blinking. Remember, this is all out of the box charge times. When you deplete the battery further, it's going to take longer, possibly twice as long on all of these devices, because they come just about 50-60% charged. So now that we're over that, I do want to mention that you really do need to give yourself about half a day to set these kinds of drones up. I know it's irritating and sometimes it can be a frustrating process, but you need to give yourself that time. Since you are going to have this on your wrist and your goggles are going to be on, you're not going to be really seeing your controller. Probably want to put this on just in case you let go of the controller or you knock your hand. You don't want this thing falling on the floor and breaking. So when you are flying your drone and you basically drop this out of your hand, it's just gonna swing and not hit the ground. Anyway, we wanna get this thing booted up, and here's how you do it. Don't think I showed you guys how easy it is to put on. You just pull, take off, same thing to put on, push in a little bit, and it does click on nice and sturdy, just like the first generation Avata. And this process is where you're gonna need your phone or tablet, so you're gonna wanna have that ready. Connectors facing down. Slide that bad boy in there. And this is the turn on process. Drone, goggles, then the motion controller. So let's turn on the drone first. Press, and then a press and hold. Lights go all the way up. Let's see how this thing turns on. Nice. Quick press, lights up, press and hold. Goggles are on. Quick press, lights come on, press and hold. And we're all the way up. We're plugging in. I'm just using the USB-C cable that came straight in the package. If you have the iPhone, they have that little dongle. Remember, you need to have the DJI Fly app to be able to do this. Let's just plug in and see what it says. All right, cool. So there we go. Activate DJI device. I'm just going to agree here. I'm just going to walk you through this. Sometimes there's some hiccups, and it's good to know what the workarounds are, what you've got to do. I remember in the Avata 1, there were some issues and it was just a matter of working through them. Anyway, the Avata 2 looks like everything is going good. We have new firmware. We've got for the Avata, the goggles, and the motion controller 3. So let's just install this whole package. This is going to be what you want to do when you first get your Avata. So don't skip this, you know. Make sure everything is going to be working, and you want all those nice features to be working when you first get your craft. So let's just let it go through its thing. I'll be doing this with you just in case there's some hiccups. We can walk through it together. So I'm seeing the light kind of change on the Avata over there to the left, and let's just keep an eye on the goggles, power, and then we have our, remember, our controller lights over there. Okay. So I'm hearing a couple of beeps. We have the Avata flashing red now. It looks like it's doing that update on the Avata 2. Just want to be patient here. Make sure you're not disconnecting anything, unplugging anything, moving anything around. This is very important. Looks like the controller is blinking with 2 lights as well. There we go. You can see it better now. Just want to let that also update. You can see on the phone here, we're at like 53%. So, you know, it's going to take a little while. Again, just have to be patient on this process. Make sure your phone isn't being unplugged or anything at this point, or else you might screw up the update. All right, there we go. Controller is rebooting. Hearing some beeps, seeing some flashing on the controller. We're at 90% on the update here. So we're just going to still be waiting patiently. About a minute's passed or so. Hearing the goggle fan kick on. So there is a fan in there to cool things and prevent things from fogging up and overheating. Controller just rebooted. We have solid lights. All right, there goes the drone. Restarting itself with that DJI tone. And I think we should just be just about rounding the update and finishing up here. Okay. And there, the goggle just rebooted. I saw the light flash on the battery power. We have a solid green on the Avata 2. That is very promising. Looks like we're almost done here. Just keep hearing some beeps and linking and stuff. Just want to be patient. Don't unplug anything. Don't want to be touching anything. Controller again is blinking. With these DJI products, you just want to make sure you don't do anything until it tells you to do something. Even if it takes longer than you think. There we go. Beeping again, solid, and we have a check mark. Firmware update successful. Restart if device powers off automatically. Okay, let's press X here. And check it out, guys, right on the screen. DJI Avata 2 firmware installed. Looks like it wants a fly safe update. So let's just go ahead and update that as well. If you want to, you guys can read that. And that's what the fly safe update is all about. Basically for restricted and prohibited geographic areas. So while that's updating there, guys, I don't know why it's taking so long, but it really is a slow process right now on this fly safe update. I want to talk a little bit about this head pad, and it's actually not an extra pad. What it is, it's a spacer you will put in between the Velcro on the goggles and the current pad. Basically, it's meant to extend those goggles out if the lenses are touching your eyelashes or your eyes and they're too close. This is just a spacer. Alright guys, so that FlySafe database was taking a ridiculous amount of time, that update. So I just unplugged. Not something you should do, but it was literally taking like 30 seconds per percent. And I don't even know if it was doing anything. I'm just going to see if I can plug back in and just bypass that for now. And kind of get on with this setup review. Let's go ahead and just try Go Fly here, and there we go. So it kind of goes through a little tutorial here, motion controller instructions. So let's put these bad boys on. They automatically come on, and I just wanted to show you, I'm going to adjust it for my eyes. Remember, you can use this rotation, just this pivot point, to get it like snug to your eyes. And then we're using these two little guys here, remember? And hopefully it shows this on the screen. See, as I move the left and right knobs, you want to close one eye and then you want to adjust the eye that's open until it's clear, right? So I'm just rotating these left and right. And so that side is clear while I close one eye. Just like how you would adjust like binoculars. I can also adjust with the menu button up here. I can go through all the menus just by pressing up, down, gets you in the menus, then side by side. It kind of activates all those things. And of course, pressing in switches the modes, pressing in from the right. We can do all this stuff. Looks like the GPS just needs to be activated outside for that kind of error to go away. That's just because there's no GPS inside here. So anyway, all this stuff we can adjust just like the Avata 1. There we go, got my pointer back. We're down to 77% on the actual Avata 2, doing all those updates and everything. So that's why I recommend giving it 100% charge. We can see our RC and HD signal strength. You can see the satellites there. It's getting 10 about in the house, so not bad for being under a roof like this, a metal roof. Throughput and megabits per second. We have our goggle charge, so you can see how much power was used by just doing this update and stuff. I'm looking for the motion controller power. I don't see it anywhere, so if they could possibly kind of update that and maybe put the motion controller power over here, that'd be great. Double tap either the goggles or the motion controller. Tap, tap. I'm seeing through. I can just quickly look at my motion controller and I can see that there are 4 lights. It's still fully charged. So this thing is gonna last a long time on the motion controller. I can also just tap, tap again this button and bring us out of first person view. So great upgrades to these goggles and everything, guys. This is awesome. So guys, just to wrap it up, I'm so far thoroughly impressed with the Avata 2 upgraded and releasing alongside the Motion 3 controller and also the Goggles 3. If you don't get the combo, you are going to have to charge directly from the craft. There's a little plug-in on the side, which actually I should touch on that real quick as we're wrapping it up. Look how much more convenient this slot is than, remember the old Avata had it like in one of the ducts here in the propellers and it was hard to access. So lots of amazing upgrades, definitely a whole different design. It's longer, it's a little bit bigger all the way around, but a lower profile. The goggles, a massive amount of upgrades. We have the head rotating strap, we have the battery built in on the back, a big 3000 mAh battery to last you a while, cameras on the front so you don't have to keep taking off your goggles, you can just switch the view. Awesome. Easy acro mode is supposed to be something that DJI is proud of, so we're going to try that out in the flight test, which is coming up next. The motion controller, fantastic. What a huge upgrade. A slimmer design, lighter design than the older one. Very impressed with everything they're doing here so far, but we want to see how this thing flies. So next up, coming up is going to be the in-depth flight test. Don't miss that guy coming up. Make sure you subscribe and you click that notification bell because I'm also going to be doing the giveaway video on that bad boy over there. And that thing is a full package sent directly from me of this entire combo I'm showing right now. And that's going to one of you guys, one of you subscribers that joins the giveaway. I know that was long, but that is how my videos are. They're very in-depth, detailed, because if you're spending this amount of money on a product like this, you want to know all the details, ins and outs. Don't forget, guys, all the stuff I review in my videos is always down there, down below, down in the description. So if you want to pick this up, go ahead and check down below and you can get your own Avata 2. Also have some of the other DJI drones that I like to use in there and some of the equipment down below as well that I use every day. I am ready to fly this thing, so I will see you in the next couple of videos. Flight test in depth, giveaway video for your own DJI Avata 2 combo, range test like I usually do, and then we'll probably also do some kind of cinematic, see what kind of cinematic video or maybe acro. I want to really test that easy acro and see what kind of video and stunts I can do on that new easy acro mode because DJI is really talking that up. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.